section contains knowledge of safe driving. Information all commercial drivers should know about. You must pass the test and information to get CDL. Okay. This is the biggest part of your test that you're going to take to get your permit, guys. It's general knowledge. There's 13 different practice tests that y'all have. Okay. There's a total of 761 questions that they break it down to one test on. Okay. Vehicle inspection, guys. That's just a pre-trip inspection. We're going to talk a lot about that. It's the most important thing. Safety is most important, and safety starts with your vehicle. Okay. Before you even get in that vehicle to start it, you've got to make sure it's safe. All right. All right. From the time you walk up to it until the time you actually sit down, put your seatbelt on, and start the truck up. So, okay. During your trip, you want to stop. And so often, check everything out. You want to make things tires, wheels, rims, brakes, lights, reflectors, brake electrical connections. Common sense, guys. You just want to check your cargo securement, depending on what you're hauling. Coupling devices always on your trailers and stuff, especially if you've been down a bumpy highway or a lot of construction where it jolts around your truck and your trailer. It can actually loosen up your glide hand connections. Okay, so y'all be really careful about that. Look for that whenever you're actually en route to where you're going. Okay, and then afterwards they want you to do a post trip. It's called a pre-trip, and a post trip is what's required by the Department of Transportation and the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Okay, pre-trip is of course exactly that, before you start your trip. Post trip is after. All right. Afterwards, it's important to do a post trip because things can happen that you didn't know about during your trip. Okay, if you do a post trip night, you can try to fix any problems. That way you'll be ready to rock and roll by the time you get ready to head out the next day for your dispatch. Okay, tire problems, too much or too little wear. Okay, bad wear. Check out the way your tires look. See if they've been beaten up. Sometimes driving down the highways on bumpy roads and stuff, it'll eat away some of the tread on your tires, believe it or not. Mainly trailer tires are notorious for this. Okay. If you pick up a trailer that's been sitting for a while, if you work for a company that's dropping hook, like the company I work for, well, sometimes those trailers have been sitting for a while and they haven't had the necessary TLC they needed, and certain things are real easy to beat the heck out of the tires. Okay, so you just want to be real careful and watch out for that. Make sure that you don't get trailers with mismatched size tires. Okay, radial or bi-ply tires used together, you don't want that. Okay, you can have the radial side by side and the bias tires side by side. Okay, you cannot have a radial next to a bias. Okay, you cannot do that. That's what they're talking about. They don't mean don't put radial and bias tires together, period, on a truck or trailer. It means they cannot be next to each other on a set of duals. Okay, and of course, steer tires are never nothing but pure virgin, brand new tires. Always, always, always. Okay, so you want to look for tread separation. You can actually see this on tires, guys. It's been sitting for a while. Too much air in, or they haven't been maintained, and you can actually see where the tread is separating, and you can see wires. Okay, anytime you see that, immediately get that thing replaced. Don't go down the highway like that. The smallest thing, all it takes is the slightest nick on it or the slightest bit of compression. You get a loaded trailer, it would be a shame for you to know that you needed to fix the tire before you took off after getting loaded, and then all of a sudden, guess what? You're down the road with a loaded trailer with blown tire that tore half the bottom of your trailer apart. You know what I mean? I'm telling you guys, these tires are dangerous. Anybody knows about tires, you know, these tires are very dangerous whenever they explode. They got wires in them, and they can even kill you. They destroy things whenever you blow a tire. It's going to tear your truck up. Just be ready for that. It's going to tear your truck up. It's going to tear your trailer up. All right. Anybody's ever known anybody to drive a truck, or have you seen blowouts on the side of the road, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. So, excuse me. So wheels and rims. Main thing you want to look for on rims, guys. Illegal welds. Damaged rims. It could be a bent rim to where the tire does not seat right on the bead of the tire. It's not sealed like it should be. Rust around the wheel nuts or so means that the nuts are loose. You want to check them and the studs themselves also. Missing clamp spacers, studs, or lug nuts. All right. Never, ever, ever take off without having all your lug nuts on all your studs. Okay. Because when you get on the highway and find out you got like 3 freaking lug nuts still on a 10 studded tire. know what I'm saying? That's not a good thing. So always be real careful about that. If you have to physically grab the lug nut and check it out, do so. It's no big deal. You know, it's better to take the time to make sure you're safe before you start than to get down the highway. Let me tell you something, guys. A lug nut coming off of a rolling trailer tire hitting a vehicle can cause a massive disaster. One lug nut, okay? Because you got to think, if you're on 65 miles an hour down the highway, and all of a sudden the lug nut comes off of your tire, bounces, hits the road, and pings into somebody's freaking windshield of their car. You don't think that's going to be a major impact from the force from the speed?
Yeah, $10 lottery.
Yeah, it's just something that small, okay, guys? Later on this week or next week, I'm working on showing you a video of a tire that actually came off of a trailer driving down the highway. The tire itself, it rolled on, it was rolling behind the trailer, okay? The guy was still going down the road. All of a sudden, it hits a pothole in the road. I don't know how in the world it did it, but it jumped on top of a barrier into a vehicle on the other side of the freaking barrier of the highway and hit him. So, I mean, it's crazy. You don't think, well, this will never happen. And the chances of it ever happening in a lifetime is is pretty slim. But that one chance is all it takes for somebody's life or major damages or repairs. And you're responsible for that, guys. Okay, anything that happens while you're behind the wheel of that truck that comes off of your trailer or your truck while you're driving down the highway, guess what? That's going to come back on you as a bad pre-trip, or they're going to check your pre-trip to see if you did anything. And if it's not noted on there, something's missing or something's needed, you're going to be highly responsible. Okay. In a situation like that, I'm going to tell you right now, guys, you might as well just look for another job. Another matter of fact, not just another job in the trucking business, but another somewhere else other than the trucking industry, because that's a dangerous thing. Okay. And that's just carelessness. We all know if you walk by and see some missing lug nuts on the tire, pretty much those other lug nuts that are on there need to be checked out, right? I mean, common sense is going to tell you that.